Welcome back here in Michigan to Broncos Radio. Scott Morgan here with the Coopersville Athletic Director, James Cochran. James, let's get to a little bit. We're still getting to know you and everything, and we just got done talking about getting here and some of the things that you really like about it. Now we'll get into the nuts and bolts. Favorite college outside of Northwood and everything like that. What's your favorite college?
Northwood and Cornerstone.
Cornerstone?
Yeah. My favorite college. That is a good question. So I did my master's degree through the College of New Jersey, of all places. So
New Jersey?
Yeah,
Wow.
College of New Jersey. They had a program which was accommodated global educators, and I'd never visited the campus actually, so it was in different spots throughout Europe. But I don't know if that was my favorite university though. Good question. You get caught into the race of Michigan State here in Michigan, and I love both institutions. I really connect with those. So,
what do you think of Izzo signing for a lifetime contract there with Michigan State?
Yeah,
especially basketball.
That's right. Yeah, Tom Izzo, great coach. I think I heard a quote about Izzo that I really resonated with. It was, he'll tell you the truth, and he'll love you to death. And I think that's a real magic recipe to coaching. You got to tell the truth, but you also gotta really care for your athletes. So, yeah, I like Izzo a lot, and that's why it's tough for me to say Michigan.
Exactly. Yeah, me too. They do well. Favorite activity to do with the family?
Yeah, we're very outdoorsy people. We did a lot of hiking throughout our time together in Europe. We like being outdoors. My son is a fisherman. Funny story is it was 2 weeks ago we were up at Silver Lake at my mom and my stepfather have a cottage there, and he's got his pole out, no bites all day. We're like, put a 5-minute timer on. He throws a big lure out there, and I'm like, there's no way anything is ever going to bite that massive lure. Here he is, 2 minutes left on the timer, and this massive bass catches on to this lure, and the little man reeled it in. And, yeah, those are the moments we really enjoy, just being outdoors and doing things like that. Sports are, of course, a part of it. My daughter's really into gymnastics and dance, and my son is into football, the European version. So I keep catching myself here. I know I'm in different lands here. Football is means something. So he's really into soccer.
Yeah.
But he's 5, so let's just see what happens.
Right. Well, again, they get exposed to that over in Europe a lot more than what the kids here do. So yeah, like I said, it's exciting. They've got a lot of different players over there that are really, really good. You see some really good European football, and man, it's a lot of fun to watch because, like I said, I enjoy watching soccer too. Let's talk a little bit about the Coopersville community and everything. What are you hoping, from them to you and then from you to them?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think what I'm hoping for from the Coopersville community is perspective. And I think it's difficult because if you're a parent, you really care. You love for your child. You want the best for them. But sports are, it's a space for disappointment. It's a space where your child may not start. It's a space where you may feel as if your child was wronged by not being played or by this, that, or the other. And there are occasions where, sometimes coaches just don't get it right, and we have to certainly bring those things up. But there was something that really stuck to me, and this was more about parent to child relationship, because I think if it's not done right, it can really push kids away from sport. And that is the best thing you can say to a kid on that way home is, I enjoyed watching you play. And should your kid want to dig deeper and hear perspective on what you thought of this, that practice, that match, or that game, then I think that's the open door. But until that happens, I think as parents, just be supporters and just know that coaches are in it because they do care about kids, and it's not to show favoritism one way or another. So I think it's just what I hope for, if I could sum it up in one word, is perspective, big picture perspective.
Big picture perspective.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then what they could expect from me, I think that was the second half. Yeah. For me is I don't have it all figured out. I certainly don't have it all figured out here in my first 6 weeks. But I think what you can expect from me is I'll do my best. I value. I think we all have our biases towards sports, but I do my best toward showing time toward all sports and valuing sports from who we hire in that process and making sure we get the right person in those positions. Yeah, and I think those are the main pieces. And I think vulnerability is a big piece, and I think that's a piece that we want to teach our kids through our coaches is we don't have it all figured out, but if we have an attitude of I'm willing to learn and I'm willing to figure things out with a growth mindset, then I think we can get there to wherever their place is. I'm trying to figure out. State titles are, of course, are nice, but that's not, those things aren't always in the cards, and it's not from lack of effort, but it's not a reason not to aspire to it. And I don't know if it's a measurement that we should say, hey, that's success. So that's for us and the coaches and our community to figure out how do we define success?
How do we define success in the community, for these kids? And that is a big part of it. Like you say, Ed, I've been doing this now for about 13 years. And before that, both my kids came through the system and stuff, and, through good times and bad times. The son went to, back then, Ford Field, on the finals and ended up losing against Zeeland West. But it was a fun ride, and it was a lot of, there was a lot of fun and hype. And to where, I coached a team that we never won a game. And, those are, both aspects of the parameter there. You're winning all the time and losing all the time, but you still treat it all the same. Kids are still giving everything they have.
That's right.
And, so like I say, when I look at it, there's things that sometimes get wrong. But, again, especially we were talking about refs a little earlier. Yeah. Reffing is tough.
Yeah.
Reffing is it's an extremely stressful situation for a lot of these these ladies and gentlemen because they want to do their best. Yeah. And like I said, they can't be on eyes on everything, and they're going to make a few mistakes. We just need to accept them and kind of move forward and hopefully, like say, a lot of the communities in West Michigan and all over accept that because they are having a hard time finding them because a lot of people are saying I don't want to put up with that pressure.
Yeah, I just left the OK Conference meeting with all the other 48 schools in the OK conferences. The numbers are staggering. We are at an all-time low in terms of shortage for officials. And why is that? And a lot of it is attributed to verbal abuse from fans, coaches, and even athletes at times. I think particularly from fans seems to be a troubling point. They're not making a lot of money. They do it for love. They do it for wanting to be around the game. So we have a responsibility to understand that, let's be good at the official. They're not going to get it right, as you said.
Yep.
But I think they are doing their best, and let's give them the grace that they deserve.
Definitely, for sure. James, I want to thank you for taking the time out in your busy schedule, just trying to learn all this stuff and everything. Is just, I can't fathom, trying to come in here, but know that the community is there. We're always here to support. We've been doing that for many, many moons, and you are no different. We'll be here if you need some help. Don't be afraid to ask. You'll definitely get a lot of volunteers, and a lot of people will step up to help you out.
Thanks a lot, Scott, and I look forward to working alongside our community and getting to know you a little bit better as well, Scott.
Definitely. Thank you. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too.